I'm so excited to be here. I was here on a panel a few years ago, and so then it was really nice to get invited back to share a little bit more about what P.E.A.S is doing and how we've even grown since that time, probably 3 years ago. We are partners for education, agriculture, and sustainability, and we are grassroots from here in Austin, Texas. We started as a community farm on the Cunningham Elementary campus in 2011. So I'll be sharing a little bit more about our history in a second, but our goal is really to help support teachers in getting their kids outside for learning. Our mission is to cultivate joyful connections with the natural world through outdoor learning and edible education. And we're a school day program, so that's what makes us really unique in other programs that are garden related or are often after school programs, but we take place during the school day, and I'll share more about our schools in a minute. The model of our community farm, which started in 2011 on the Cunningham campus, we were a parent project and then just became a community-wide project. The principal got excited because we're on joint use land with the city of Austin, about having a community garden on campus. And then a friend of mine suggested, due to the nature of school and having kids that are busy all the time, to go ahead and farm it communally. So instead of having individual plots like most community gardens, we have rows, and everybody who is a member farms communally. We have a sliding scale membership from $10 to $50 per year. And that really gives the access to harvest at your leisure privileges. We ask people to try to come 2 to 4 times a year to help give back as far as our maintenance goes. So we have regular every other Saturday farm days from 9 to 11. And that's an opportunity for other people to come too, just to want to learn more about gardening and learning how to see. We get a lot of people who haven't gardened in Texas before to like really see what the seasons in Texas are like. So in 2015, I was a teacher at Cunningham, and all 4 of my kids went to school there. In 2015, I kept going to professional development with teachers saying that they really wanted to use their garden spaces more for educational purposes. And I started looking for resources just to help share, and couldn't find what I was looking for, which was a model similar to what Keep Austin Beautiful was offering. They had a model where they would have someone come to your class 3 different times for different educational lessons related to recycling and keeping Austin beautiful. So I was like, that's great. Who's doing that for gardening? And we need this all year long. And I couldn't find what I was looking for. So then took the leap out of the classroom and into the garden in 2016 and started programming. In the fall semester, we were in 4 schools. By spring, we were in 8 schools. We quickly went up to 15, 19, back down during the pandemic to 15, 19, and this year we're going to be in 32 schools. So we made a huge jump from 19 to 32 for the coming year, and that's really exciting. Additionally, when you're growing food with kids, then they want to know what to do with it next. So we started a kitchen program, and we're still kind of in our foundational phases. We've been running the program now for about 4 years, and we wrote a collaborative grant with Austin ISD to build a classroom at Cunningham Elementary. So we have a full kitchen classroom, but that's only at 1 school. So we have done outreach programming. We were in 2 schools last year, and this year we're in 1 school because we're trying to do something. We're hoping to pilot field trips at the kitchen classroom at Cunningham Elementary. So that's all still in the works, but it's happening. It's one of those things where we're kind of building the ship as we're sailing it. So we are still building that program out, but we've had a really lovely, successful year last year, serving all the students at Cunningham Elementary. And then we had programming at Go Valley and Highland Park last year, and that all went really well. Our team is made up of, we have former teachers from AISD, and we have people who have come to us from the agricultural world, from farms, and we have some new people coming on that are on our workforce development pathway, where they're coming to us ready to learn, and we're training them in our programs and helping, hopefully, to keep coaching them until they're ready to be a part of our educational team too. And we have several programs. We have 6 programs. One is our community farm and our urban orchard. The urban orchard part, we have 6 fruit trees planted, and we're hoping to grow that in the coming years on that joint use land. We'd love to do a food forest. So if anybody has, we're connecting with people, but if anybody has a passion for food forests, let me know, because we're always looking for more people who are interested in sharing their expertise with us.
What kind of fruit trees?
Well, we have anything that is going to help, like, be as low maintenance as possible for the school, create shaded learning spaces. We'd like to have different levels, so things at different times of the year are fruiting. And so we're going to go down to Festival Beach and do some research there. And there's another community across in the Dove Springs neighborhood that's doing a project. So we're going to go meet them this week too.
Are they looking for people with trees to donate?
We will be. Right now we're in the process of writing the site plan and getting approval for the space. So if you're someone who has fruit trees to donate, I'll be passing around
well, I need to know ahead of time so I can start cutting.
Oh yeah. Well,
I've got a whole bunch of fig trees, and I can make as many cuttings as people want.
Okay, great. Yes. If you'll just write fruit trees on there, then once we get our site approved, then I can reach out.
I'll start growing them, so I'll start now.
Okay, great, awesome. And yeah, and if they don't find homes, we can always find homes for things. People are always reaching out to us for resources. Oh, awesome.
I love the gardens aren't, I mean, they're still working the gardens, but it's not open to the community anymore because we have a lot of
yeah. It can be hard, and it's like campus by campus dependent on whether they're community access or if not, it depends.
It used to be within the locking system on the gates, the people couldn't get in, and when COVID came, and people come in and eat everybody's produce. Just because they thought it was a community garden for everybody.
Yeah, we're hopefully going to make, if this happens, that it'll be an accessible space. So just like with our community farm, which is also unlocked, we just say, please take what you need for yourself or your family for a weekly serving and come back and leave some, but leave some for the students too. So hopefully with signage, we can keep the other projects running that way as well.
Just to say, it looks like a little loquat tree over there.
That is a ice cream bean. I don't know if that'll grow into a tree. It's an ice cream bean.
Well, it looks like that one in the back looks like a loquat, small loquat.
Or it might be a loquat. I don't know.
Fruit tree.
I took them at one meeting and I was not giving them the care they needed, so I brought them for adoption. So yeah, take those.
Interesting. I'm interested to learn more about that. I don't know that. Did you say ice cream bean?
I thought so. I also haven't even looked it up. That's what someone told me, and I believe them, but I could be wrong.
Our other programming, so then knowing that other schools needed support and teachers were looking for resources, we developed outreach programming, which is a really pretty intensive program for a school. We see the same 5 classes at a school. So we've started in elementary school, so I'm going to describe that program first. We're in 25 elementary schools this year. Each school, we provide 5 classes a week, every other week from October through May. So we wait through September, try for it to be a little less hot when we get the kids out, so they're really excited about being there and the teachers are enthusiastic too. And then we see them, so we try to give a really deep dive into our curriculum, which is it's soil to table, and we have 3 years of curriculum developed. So if a student sees us 1 year and then again the next year, they won't get the exact same lesson. But if they see us like in 1st grade and then in 4th grade, they could get the same lesson again, but it'll be at a different level. So we are continuing. Our lessons are ever evolving. Sometimes people ask for our curriculum, and because it's a constant like iterative process, we have our staff weighing in on things that went well and things that we should improve, or so we don't really share that curriculum, but we do share pieces of it with our partner teachers. And our model is that the teacher stays with the class. So we are meeting the best practices in outdoor education, which is about a 1 to 10 adult to student ratio. And that also allows the opportunity for the teachers to bridge the concepts between the classroom and the garden and back again. And we are aligned right now with AISD's academic standards, that we try to mask them so the students are just like in wonder and awe and engaged with all the cool things outside. And it also takes some pressure off the teachers for a little while we're out there. But principals, we are aligned. And then we do have camps now. We have 3 weeks of camp, 1 at spring break and 2 in June. Our own team uses July to decompress and get ready because August is always a really busy time for us. And then we're piloting, or we piloted an internship program last year that went really well. So we're continuing that. We're still seeking the funding we need to have it at the level we want, but we definitely saw a great benefit to having people come and join us in our work, and we learned a lot from them, and hopefully they learned a lot from us. One of them staying on, and he's a training specialist in training this year, and so then he'll be working in our schools as well. And then we do professional development for teachers in schools and districts, and consulting as well. Okay, this is long, you don't have to read it off it, but I wanted to share this quote because this was on our end of the year feedback form, and usually teachers are really busy at the end of the year, so this means a lot that this teacher took the time to write this long note to us. And this is what we wanted P.E.A.S to be, and she so clearly described it. So I'm going to just read the quote to you. It says, P.E.A.S classes allowed the students to have a more integrated and individual experience with nature. It developed their confidence in sharing what they know and exploring independently and showing respect in nature and a curiosity for the flora and fauna. My students keep an eye on the mycelium they spread. They count the leaves on the plants they planted. They munch on cilantro that took over a bed. They collect paper wasp nests for our classroom collection. They avoid stepping on our bluebonnets. They use long sticks to save wasps from our pond tank. They stay calm when facing bees. They keep an eye on the dove that is forming her nest in the garden. P.E.A.S really creates opportunities. It sparks curiosity and it opens up the world for students. And that is like, this is going to be used on every grant in the future because that was our goal. That's what we've been trying to do. And so I'm super grateful. And that was, someone mentioned Andrews Elementary. That was a teacher from Andrews that sent that to us. So I mentioned that we are growing. We are in 32 schools this year, and we have 44 programs because some schools do have multiple programs. Langford has 2. Zilker has a double program. They pay for one of their programs in full, and we do a little bit to offset the cost of the other one. Most of our schools have families who come from that are experiencing some economic hardship right now. And so we do a lot to underwrite our programming costs. We underwrite about 95% of our programs. And so it takes a lot of momentum to get the grant funding. We're trying to seek more corporate sponsorships that are aligned with our mission and things like that. So if anybody has connections that they think would be excited about our program, we always want to share those. We are piloting this year some programming in middle schools and high schools. This was funded through the Urban Forestry Department. So it's going to be surrounding, they had trees planted on their campuses through a grant that AISD got from Urban Forest the year before. And so we're going to take our academic programming that is usually garden centered, and we're going to tweak it and make it so it's tree centered. Which is not hard, as you know. They're growing things too. And then I wanted to take a minute and show you a little video. Hopefully this will work, of what, pictures of our students. And then this was from a little interview, so it's a little weird because I'm talking there too. Is there volume? Do I need to? Okay.
He started as a community garden, but also with the interest of having it on the school campus, so it would be an outdoor learning lab for the students. Our staff specialists go in and work with 5 classes in each school, so the classes get repeat exposure, building those connections over the entire school year. Teachers are very enthusiastic to have support, and so we're now in 19 Austin area schools, seeing how hard it was just for teachers to be out there and manage their classes and find a curriculum that makes sense to teach outside. They get to develop their roles as outdoor educators, and the students get to get involved in really cool outdoor science inquiries. So much is just letting the kids have time to look at things closely. We do it a lot when we're very small, but once we're in school for many hours a day, there become less and less opportunities. While it's still challenging in certain instances, everything that schools need to teach for standards-based learning can be done outside. There are direct connections, and we have them. I know that when kids feel connected to something, then they start to care about it. Once they care about it, they're going to do something. They want to take action. They're always hungry for, what do we do then? I think a lot of the lessons that we teach are some of those things that they can be doing. Our classroom teachers, the partners that we're with, and all the staff that has been a part of our organization over all these years, all the people who have been members of the community farm or have lent us their truck or picked up picnic tables for us, they're all a part of making this a success and making this available for the children of Austin. We put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. It still has plenty of challenges, but I also understand that we need to take the opportunity to immerse ourselves in nature so we don't forget why we're doing what we do.
Okay, now I need to go back somehow. Should have never got out of it. Is that still? Yeah. Oh, it's still good. Okay. All right.
Actually, you can hit it says hide at the bottom. Sometimes it gets over your content.
Oh, gotcha.
Great.
Okay. So I just want to share a few of our numbers from last year because some people like numbers. Students who received our program, we had over 3,000 students receive our programming last year. Kitchen programming was provided to 571 students. We led 1,612 individual lessons. This led to 28,000 plus interactions and 21,000 plus hours of outdoor and edible education. So for me, that's really exciting to think. A lot of those hours may have just been spent indoors and they were moved outdoors. So that's something that excites me. And then we also provided over 750 hours of garden maintenance to schools. Maintenance is not our really part of our program. We generally try to support schools with finding partners for them for maintenance, but last year we had the opportunity to do some actual maintenance with our team, and we also did have a nice volunteer crew help support. So that makes the learning spaces inviting, and after we leave, then other teachers want to teach in those spaces as well. So it's really important.
Where did you volunteers come from?
We have a sign up. It's just a sign up on our website. So it's been it's called P.E.A.S Ambassadors page. But then we have some like organizations that we are funded by who then invite people over. Sorry, I keep wanting to stand off the screen because I can't see y'all. Like Whole Kids Foundation and Sprouts Healthy Communities Foundation. They usually send over a team that they want to do some community work, and we love to.
Does UT still have a program where they do that? I mean, they used to have a group of people that would come out to schools and help get them started.
Well, they do have there's a UT Sprouts program that is particularly related to school gardens. So I think that's probably the one you're thinking of. That was and then they have a student group, a sustainability group that we've had volunteers from there come out before. But I know the School of Nutrition there has developed a whole new program called Eden. It's their garden program, but they have a lot of good resources also. So this is the top picture is kind of what all the school gardens look, well, not all of them, but a lot of them look like at this point in the year. Can you find the garden? And can you spot the garden in that picture? Yes, as we know, Bermuda grass takes over in August. This is what we try to get them like before we start doing programming. We won't necessarily provide programming and use all the beds, but to make sure the school and the teachers have beds. So if you know anybody who is interested in helping in school gardens, we are particularly looking for people who might be available on Saturdays, because all of the school security protocols are changing. And so we know we have to get background checks and stuff, and those processes take a while. So it might be longer than we need before we get programming. So in a little bit, I'm going to pass around just if you are either interested in supporting a school garden, know someone who's interested, or you want to join our newsletter, you can sign up here. But if you're interested in helping clean up a school garden, just put a star by here. Or if you have trees for me in the future, just write trees. I'll go ahead and start passing that around. If you are online and you have interest in either of those things, you can just type it in the chat. I think I can get that at the end of the meeting then, right? Okay.
And I sent that link to the volunteer form that you have online.
Perfect. Oh yeah, that's even better. If you can do it through the volunteer form, that's easier for me to get to. Thank you. I did want to also share that if you know anybody who is looking for a full-time but assisting type job, we are hiring. This will be a full-time position that is primarily located at Cunningham Elementary, and it'll be split 50% between the garden and 50% in the kitchen classroom. It is 35 to 40 hours a week and pays $16 an hour. I like to share that right away because I want people to know what it is. There is always potential for growth on our team. However, this is currently funded for 9 months for sure. And then these are our sponsors. Okay, now, heads up. There's gonna be a break coming soon if anyone needs to stretch. So I just want to do a check-in because I know we have people at home and people here. The next piece of what I was planning to do, and we have a nice group here, is to go outside and do some ecotherapy activities. And I've thought of a way I can either bring you with us people at home, or I can share with you what we're gonna do. And we build in a lot of small ecotherapy short practices in our lessons, even though we're usually teaching about science. We try to slow down for moments and do some really focused observation, do bumblebee breathing, do things that will help kids self-regulate, especially as they're transitioning between classes coming out to us or about to get ready to reintegrate back into the classroom. So I know that gardeners you're reaping the benefits of ecotherapy more than any other group probably, but it's August in Austin and it's really hot. So I thought we would do some, in a minute, we'll meet outside and we'll do a couple of activities that will help us maybe appreciate the heat, or at least, I think it'll still have some nurturing qualities in these activities that we do. So before I would take students outside, I would talk about being alert for, for symptoms of heat exhaustion. And I know you guys are probably also people who are very aware of how to avoid that, but I just want to let you know if you're feeling weird while we're outside, if you get really hot or cold, or you're feeling weak or dizzy or fatigued or yucky, just let me know and just come back in. We'll get you something cool. But otherwise, it'd be nice to go out. And it's only, I think, 101 today. So it's kind of a cool evening in Austin. And so what I'm thinking is if anybody needs to use the restroom on the way out, or get, I guess there's fruit over here, or refill your water, then this would be a good time to do it while David and I figure out how to get you on the computer outside. If you're at home, you can either take us outside with you on your phone, or I can tell you what we're doing when we get out there and you can go do it and come back and join us. Does that sound like it's going to work? Okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to pause there, and it is 7:11 and we'll meet outside at 7:15 or 16. Okay.
Where are we meeting outside?
Oh, just right out, let's just meet right outside this door.
Thank you.
And also, I realize I don't know any of your names, so if you can just tell me your name when we're passing by.
My name's Danielle.
Will there be any visuals that we're sharing while we're out there?
I think we can wait to share the visuals when we get back in. It's gonna be, yeah, that would be something I can describe.
Okay, all right, because then it might be hard to share and on the phone. I don't know how.
Some of the TV later.
So are we able to get on the Zoom meeting with the phone? Because then we can make sure to unmute that. Let's do this and then we will.
It's actually the audio, not just you. Memory serves.
No, I work for a law library.
Oops, I don't know. This. Nope, not that.
Yeah, if we go to
Oh, right.
If you have paper and a pencil,
if you say leave computer audio,
That's
that
what we
just
need.
shuts it off totally.
Great, we're all set on mine.
Yeah, that's good. And thought that this was a good way that a lot of us self-regulation by doing some yoga. Really simple. It's called seed to tree yoga. Go over to on our tree. Sometimes you can think of your favorite plant from your house or your garden. And the way this is going to start, you can either go all the way down to the ground, or if you want to be a standing tree, you can go through the root of it. So we are going to plant our seed, and I'm going to go all the way down. To imagine that we're sitting in the soil, we're all snug, surrounded by nutrients, microorganisms, and it starts to rain on us. And that releases our radical roots. Starts going down in our little leaf waves. Hello. And we start to grow. Growing. And then you put up another leaf. And then the breeze catches you. The rain comes. So the rain is circle for a minute. Which plant you were growing. All right.
Sugar tree.
Meyer lemon tree.
I was a live oak.
Okra.
Burrow. Tomato.
I was just thinking today about the oak tree that has been next to our house for 35 years and how it has grown so big. Okay, thankfully, yes. Oak tree has lots of earth around it. Very incredible. I was imagining like this tree because of my feet closed. It's really fun to do myself. So we're gonna do another sensory exercise. And this is the part where I've got some paper on the table. And so if you start to go pick up their pencils are they're also pencils in the yellow. Pick one up and I'll start passing some and I don't know.
Yeah. Can we do this on our phones? Or do we need the physical paper?
I think we're gonna do this part on your phone. Okay.
All right, well, I
Else?
can use my phone. Someone
Okay.
else wants to use the paper too.
You two are gonna use phones?
Okay.
Yeah. When am I not?
Okay.
in your garden feel like? So 5 words or phrases. When you completed the 3 to 5 things, just let's see, just pick a number. Next question is, how does the heat smell? How does the heat it's 3 to 5 words or phrases. You guys ready to move on? The next one is, what does the heat in your garden look like? What does the heat sound? What do we hear when it's raining? What does around you sound like? Now this is the hardest one. Tastes like. That one's coming out. Lately, I feel like it tastes like cigarette dust. Feel like it would be other. Me too, actually. We're gonna now rejoin indoors and we'll go over what we're gonna take from process the feelings and we're gonna move them indoors to do something fun.
Smell. I don't remember which one of these settings were.
Oh, yeah, we're trying to.
Okay, can you hear me at home? Okay. What we were doing for that last part when we were outside is we were recording with our 5 senses what heat looks like, feels like, smells like, tastes like, and sounds like. So if you can write down a few words for each of those things, 3 to 5 words for each of those, then we're about to do an activity with that to bring the outdoors inside with us. I'm going to share my screen again and I'll put up the prompt. All right. When was the last time you've written a poem? Holler out. Who wrote a poem this morning? No, me either. Well, actually, no, I did write one today because of this. But before that, it had been a while. So I thought this would be a fun way. One thing during the heat we can do to keep ourselves connected with nature is to bring nature indoors. And sometimes we do that very concretely by bringing our plants inside, and sometimes we can do that through things that are more creative. So we're going to tap into our creativity now, and you have a choice of what you want to do. Starting with poetry, I have the option of writing a haiku, which is a 17 symbol, 3 lines of 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and then 5 syllables that evoke images of the natural world. I'd like to keep the theme of heat and those words that you used outside to describe your heat. Try to incorporate them in your poem. You don't have to use them all, but try to use that kind of as your word bank for your poem. Or if you want to try to make a little light of the heat, then we could go for a limerick. So I'll share my examples of the ones I wrote today. My haiku was, Saharan dust chokes, crispy grass pokes my bare feet. November, please come. And then my limerick is, living in Austin is neat. Although I'm not really loving this heat, I rely on the springs to cool all my things. Every day I must work, dip, repeat. So I also, if you are someone who would prefer to draw rather than write a poem, I have some crayons I'll put out on the tables, and you can try to incorporate those themes from your observations into your drawings. And we will share in about 10 minutes. I forgot to mention that I will be doing a drawing from the list of people who sign up for our newsletter for a P.E.A.S hat. So I'll pass this around in case anybody who came in later did not get a chance to sign up. Our newsletter comes out twice a month. Did you get a chance? What do you want me to wait? If you are interested in signing up for our newsletter, then you'll be in the drawing for the hat, but it comes out twice a month, but if you're not interested in it.
I love it.
Well,
this one's just kids stuff.
no, it is, but I'm trying to figure out, you've got 5, 7, and 5.
Right, syllables for the first line, doesn't have to rhyme, good for the second.
If you actually,
I need to get a separate email. I don't get it on the computer very much. I need to get another email. You know, so I can use it.
I don't know.
That's what I want. You want it? Oh, I have one. Wait. Why don't you do the artwork? So you're an artist? Okay. Did everybody get a chance to find out what you guys did? Again? Oh.
It'll take about 3 or 4 more minutes. about showing me how many minutes you need on your fingers? 0, 1, 2, or 3? Okay.
Does the limerick have to be like that? The first 2 is long and the second 3 is short, and the second 3 long.
The rhyme scheme is AA, so those 2 words rhyme BB. So it doesn't matter really the length so much, but it has a pattern.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
This one,
I have this one running with these 3.
So those are the rhymes with these 2.
Well, these 2 rhyme.
Oh, right, this one should rhyme with that.
all right, well, I think a few of you are finished, and I'm going to ask what I ask of our students. And so, as you may know, the word bravo in Italian means to be brave. And so when we clap for someone and we say bravo, bravo, it's because they did something that was brave. It was a brave act. So I would like to ask any of you who are willing to share to come up and share up here so our people at home can see. And then after each person is done, I would like us to all clap, give them a round of applause and say bravo, bravo.
Anita and I are arguing over which is going to go first.
Is it okay if I take your picture while you're up there?
Oh, you're welcome to take a picture, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, is my hair?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Well, I'm not sure I've ever done a successful haiku, so I tried that. Heat glistens on my skin. I hear katydid's white noise. Wilty leaves, tomatoes dead.
Bravo! Thank you so much for sharing.
Oppressive stillness, thick air takes my breath away, now slowly stifles.
I actually have 3 that are kind of like stanzas.
All right, let's hear it.
Morning cool, not cool. Out before coffee or melt. Struggling plants, drink. Heat is relentless. Why humidity, no rain? Which plants will survive? The garden is sad. Nothing wants to grow in this, not even okra.
We still have more airtime. If anybody else would like to share, I'd love to hear it. I think it's last. Okay, great. Okay.
My haiku is crunchy leaves lay flat, dry salty skin is dark brown, dead grass hugs the ground.
Bravo, bravo.
I also did a limerick.
All right.
Okay. The sun beats down on this dry, dusty town. Bees are dying. I am sweaty and crying, and here I am bound.
I hope this is cathartic for everybody. It's helping.
I love the diversity in the directions when I approach this.
So I wrote 2 haikus based off of what
I thought that heat felt like. So my first one is, summertime is here. Nature opened the oven, but it's only May. And then my other one is what it felt like. Magnifying glass. Why am I under its glare? I am not an ant.
Bravo, bravo. I can identify with that.
I wrote something, but I don't know what it is. I didn't, I mean, I haven't defined it, and I don't know that I even finished it.
Let's hear what you have.
Sure. Okay, Renee, can you do it up there so they can see you?
Yeah.
The Zoom people want to hear it.
Well, so we're almost hours.
Okay. The sun energizes plants to grow, but beautiful veggies are beginning to show. Artichokes, spiny and green, not a bird or bee is ever mean, but they glean fruit so keen.
Thank you. Do you have anyone else who didn't get a chance to share that would like to? How are you feeling back there? You want to share or not today?
I'll just bring it from here.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Heat like a warm oven, need to quench my thirst with rain, fresh water, drops, and clouds. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, David's got
Hope I counted right.
That's okay.
Well, you're doing great.
Rules are guidelines.
Yeah.
Haiku, see the wilting leaves, the aroma of hot mulch, the taste of salty sweat.
Oh. This is such good imagery. It really helps me picture what it's like in your life. And I'm concerned for you because I also feel the heating down. I'm afraid to look at my grass too long in my yard that it might just like my eyes looking at it could be the straw. Thank you all so much for participating in that. We, it looks like have plenty of time. If you guys.
Ask Forrest if he has any.
Oh, yes, thank you. How do
I
we,
invited the chat to share.
how do we get to, can we give him speaking?
We can, yeah, I can unmute him. I think I'm.
If I stop, do I need to stop my share?
No, somebody's
Okay.
talking up there.
Oops.
He unmutes, we should be able to hear.
Oh, and he's muted.
He's muted.
Yeah.
I think he's talking, but he's muted.
Is it that icon to the left of the word on the bottom of the
Yeah,
screen?
yeah, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's got it.
it. He's got
I
it.
can ask everybody to unmute.
There.
There you go.
Yay.
Yeah.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what am I being called on?
Would you like to share? Did you write a poem? Would you like to share with us?
No, I didn't. I'm an was an electrical engineer, and I'm a little slow with words.
No problem. Was there anyone else out there online that is interested in sharing? Just come off your mute and let us know. Let's see, I think I can do. All right. Anyone? Anyone? All right, you can always pop it in the chat if you decide you want to share later. All right. Let's see, now I gotta go back. Okay, well, actually, I'm going to switch. Okay, so is that still sharing? Yes, okay, so things that are, other than the heat, we have fall gardening just around the corner. And you've all probably experienced fall gardening before. It's something to look forward to in Austin. And then we have a long season and we get to grow stuff until like next June. So what's coming up in your mind? Do you have any fears or concerns or barriers or projects that you need help with? And what we're going to do is we're going to break into a couple groups. If you're at home, you guys could be a team on the chat. Like you can use the chat feature to do this, or just come off mute and talk to each other. And I'm going to guide you guys through a process of overcoming barriers in your garden or in your project world. So if you don't mind, it'd be good to get in groups of, I think, 4 or 5. So if you guys could regroup into 4 or 5, then I'll walk you through the process, and you can just use the back side of your, well, I'll bring some slips of paper around, but then if you need to take more notes, you can use the other side of your paper, or I also have more scrap paper.
There'll be a 5. I'm gonna work with the people in the chat to make sure that they're included. There's plenty of us.
Fall garden, to have or not to have. That is the next line we have to do is rain or should I wait? You have more faith in all the way. And we'll look at the pictures everything to create a real garden.
What looked like dead steps.
Okay,
so
for, let's see. All right, so what I'm going to ask y'all to do first is I'm going to pass out a slip of paper, and just if you have a fear, concern, or barrier that you're trying to solve, to write it down on the paper. So you're going to, each person in the group can write it down, and then we're going to put them in the middle. So, yeah, we're going to use a loose piece of paper. So you're write your concern or whatever issue you'd like help with. If you're looking for the next step on something, then write it down. And if you don't have anything, then you can just say, I'll be willing to help someone else. Okay. So for the first step in this process, if you have a concern, fear, or barrier, I'm going to ask you to write it down on a piece of paper, and then we're going to put it in the middle of the group. And if you don't, everything's peachy, or then you can just be a listener and learn out what happens. And then you can tell me how you arrive. You have, I can, right here. Let me grab my pen. Projects. Fear, a concern or a barrier or a project to get started on and you don't know what to do. Okay.
My husband asked me to ask people here about where to get trees. I need a lot.
Right? Oh, you're over there, and I know that she has some good trees. She's got.
I don't want to, no, I want cedars.
Oh, cedars.
I want to for a buffer in the country. For a harvest event or where do you get them?
Okay, well,
Because we lost hundreds.
we put it down there, so your team's gonna help. Okay.
If they can.
So I guess they can.
Okay, you can put them on. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, fold them in the middle. When you're done, fold it in half or in fourths and put it in the middle.
I apologize for not having this prepared for the home people. But maybe from what we're hearing out here, they'll give some ideas for you guys too.
I put mine in the chat.
Oh,
So maybe at least have that.
All right.
We're gonna start by choosing one card out of there, and usually what I do is twirl them around and then someone can pick it. If your card does not get selected right away, we should probably have time to do this once or twice, but, all know then what we want to share the dilemmas with everyone else who has resources to share with us. Cool. All right, so if everybody, okay. Oh, you don't have to put it down, we're just gonna put it in there and then we're gonna just kind of stir them around and randomly select someone to start with, that way everybody gets a chance to get their problem or I was.
There's a website,
And, is that yours?
and you go in and register.
Will you read it out loud to the group?
The problem is, if you're ready to have, buy a whole bunch of. Yeah, pretty kind
Okay, let's start with the first one, is that the priority project? What was the priority? Okay. Tell us what the priority is.
It's the last one.
Yeah, there are sometimes a lot of names, all treatment.
Okay.
Can you repeat it one more time? Will I ever get time for the rest? Of the new projects?
Okay, so the first thing you do is your speaker is going to, are you ready? Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, the first thing we're doing is gonna share, the speaker shares for 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, as many details as possible with everybody else who's listening. So no back and forth talking right now, that the speaker share, they have up to 3 minutes to give all the issues and context of the problem as possible. Okay, so you have a rock project, and tell us when it started, where you're at in it, and what you're hoping the outcome will be.
A couple years ago, we had somebody help us put in a patio way out the back of part of the yard. It's inside the fence. And I've been expanding it ever since and putting the rocks around, making pathways around the big trees and the rose bushes and the veggies. Our neighbor across the street it was an ongoing project. They bought a house and they totally gutted all the beautiful rock work they had and all the trees, stuff out every tree, not every tree, but almost, and all the bushes and all the flowers. Every living thing there was, and they were little flags higher in the house. And so I finally asked them, if I could have some of the rocks, and so I've been hauling rocks. And I did put it in my back. And one of the other neighbors, got the rest of the rocks. But there's more, so a lot of times I ran out of time, and so I brought them to our property, but they're in various places and stages. As I get, my back gets better, I'll bring a few more rocks, but I can't do the wheelbarrow thing anymore, so I keep 2 bricks at a time, or if they're big rocks, and I'll get the dolly and that's my big, my husband, if he needs them. But he doesn't like to do that kind of stuff. But anyway.
So the dilemma is how to finish the project.
Getting the time to do it, everything hinges on everything else, like I need little rocks, but I need the big rocks to get them evenly leveled. And I'm building a tiering around the peach trees and, making flower beds around the patio. And then a walkway in and a walkway out,
Okay.
We have a wedding on it, our son got married a little over a year ago. So we had a wedding on the patio. So it wasn't bad looking then, but then I keep adding to it, and so I've got unfinished stuff. Well, two, our chickens were running all around and they kept doing everything I was doing, and all the rocks, they knocked them down, and you dig under them and around them. So now I've controlled that, I've lessened their play area. And so I don't have to worry about
For the next step now, the listeners, you guys get to ask clarifying questions to get more details. So we're going to try to help her find a solution of how to, it sounds like maybe keep this project going or speed it up. But so it's you four, it's your turn to ask her questions to see what kind of information we might be able to help her with. And so I didn't mean to interrupt you guys. You guys can continue sharing and then
A source of little rocks.
Okay. So that every now and then, you want more, like another minute or two to share the setup, or
you guys listen when she asks 2 minutes, and you guys, she will, put in like other questions to clarify, and then try to do it.
so I
Good idea. We don't always, figure out next step, and while we're doing that, we figure out step after step.
I got him a joke yesterday. I go around there for years when we talk about the places I need to get left out.
I want to know where I can go.
Spending the time to the.
I can know where the tree.
Can you afford to?
Sometimes I got here, so I pocket rocks.
Can you afford to pay someone to do it?
But I can still bring up rocks.
Well, they might do it like you want it, but they may charge a lot.
I want to have some rock walls.
And you made a drawing. You made a.
I need to do somewhere.
No, but it's all very.
I need to get trees, cedar, posts, and all of that's.
The drawing would help you.
Okay.
An idea of the spacing and how many rocks you have total, should be enough to circle this area.
I keep getting more.
One particular area that you're trying to work on and finish, or you work a little here and a little there. and a little there.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the part, I got the peach tree 3/4. I'm done with that. But the ground changes a little, so I got to dig. And I put a ground level, then bring it up to, the next level. And then add.
But then
we're going to rock on the back.
resources. And is digging a difficulty for you?
No, I mean, I could, getting the time to do it. I have a big,
I really need.
right now,
If I have a fence, I can
make it down with this.
do it smaller.
It's
harvest time.
Yeah. So, right now. I've got so many projects, so many different organizations I'm leading with, and I think all
It involves
these are
all the way. In my
all my
garden.
other exercise classes.
They have to give something.
It just seems like I spend all my time in the kitchen, or out at the chimney, or the program, or water. So now we
Can you ever, I'm not questions. My husband does it really well, like set up blocks of your day for different things, like you just gotta find, like, I'm gonna work 20 minutes on whatever, Tuesday, Thursday morning.
I always have this like. So clarifying questions are, this is same with E.E.S. You know, I could work on a little bit, we don't know, I don't know when. You have to look like, my dad, you know, you got like, I don't know, I'm ready to garden, you want, I don't know what you meant. Well, the garden, somebody here, see myself, well, each of us kids got a bill. That's why I get popular. It's got a stand, but I was saying you don't have a low stand. No, I saw you bring it now. Well, like 2 years. So what's the problem? I think we got.
So that's another project.
Well, it's all right there.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the priority, like,
So what
so
are the
out of, like,
symptoms?
you said, like, out of all those projects, would there be a way to prioritize?
Yeah. I have some, trying to get the left side, the east side of it.
That's a good start. How long, like, in your mind, if things go smoothly, how long do you think? And like you were dedicating, let's say, an hour a day to it, how long would you think?
You know, I like the bags. It started out very good small and then.
I don't know.
It's for years.
It's gonna be a range, yeah, range, like 3 months, 6 months, something like that.
But it'd be less than a year.
Maybe less.
Maybe done a soil test.
Maybe 30 hours.
Yeah, just getting an hour a day for that.
Yeah, that might not be possible, but then that helps you then for that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I only have
One of them is.
2-3 times a week, that means this is gonna be a 6 months.
That's fine, but that's, you
Soil
know,
lab.
so I can hide. Yeah, regardless.
Good soil
My
lab.
husband was
With
getting
water.
tired of that, he wants to get in the house.
So you go to the website and get various
You know, I'm dinner ready and like.
tests that can do on
And
nutrients.
then like dinner ready, he wants to eat it.
You just gather your stuff and
Don't tell you how to do it. You can't send it in.
Can you get up
Okay.
early in the morning?
I think it's why I have a 3:30.
I'll tell you specifically.
It's not earlier than that.
I'm trying to sleep or. Meeting really.
The other is, you got some soil.
You know, like that, I got this
It might have been
last Monday.
compromised.
Oh, no.
Herbicide or something like that.
And,
You can do
anyway, I just
That's
spent time
a
in the
peanut,
same place with
the,
you when I
the,
looked, prepared the artwork
it's
on the
in the
wall.
soil, put it in the orange pot, it's done good. It's a good
The
pot of
artwork
soil.
in the pictures,
One
that
that
she
you
wrote,
there.
history of
And let it grow
organic
past
gardening,
their truly.
Stuff about engineering, but-
Anticipated.
butterflies and leaves.
Look to see, same seed packet,
You know, beautiful flowers.
no good soil, and that's,
History.
you just see that.
Interesting things about flowers. And all that. I didn't think I had my glasses. She wrote it very fine. I just have to have it.
Well, yeah, I was thinking we are gonna run out of time, so why don't we just have everybody read out their question and dilemma, and then if someone has another, like a really good, quick answer or a good idea, then everybody can have the opportunity to share the idea. I'm gonna go tell this group.
Okay.
It's a good place to start, you don't have to start.
Responses for each other, or like, hey, I can connect with you later, I have. Yep.
I got one maybe if you don't have the answer to. Trying to figure out how many gallons of water that she put on the 6-year-old, 7-foot tall pear tree early in August. That's using two. Because I'm gonna haul this August. You don't have summer.
That's the,
No, I don't have.
I struggle with that. There's like watching your. It's about
Is it the quantity that you have?
20,
Yeah.
My understanding is 15 gallons a week. So what we do at
Yeah,
the
so
community
it's
farm
not if you're
is we
going
do
back
like
and
5-gallon buckets and we
Take
use 3 of them,
extra.
like late at night, and like after the sun starts going down, so then it has all that stuff in. And it seems to.
Oddly, despite everything, now it's a better box.
And I do it in the evening time, so it has time to infiltrate all the way. How big is it?
7-foot tall.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Not really, be this way, I think they're only like 6.
You look at the mulch or whatever.
So what would you do is hold a 5-gallon bucket
I mean, because of our volunteer situation, we were doing them all on 1 day a week, and we just did it every Saturday. One day, and we did just like 5, 5, 5, so in, and it seems to work, but you could, I think, spread it out.
5-gallon buckets?
Yeah, and 3 5-gallon buckets, but 15 gallons, which we ended up actually probably not 3 gallons, it's just 5, because I was to carry the buckets.
And it is related to that. How do you plants in
One
lots
talking
of water?
about, that's a
So
visible
that
color,
soil stays
so.
moist. Yeah. Because the water, even though, I
Veins
know
for
we're,
drainage, water.
little laws are designed, so, and then a little more. And I do several rounds of that.
Oh, really?
But it all seems to run right straight through, which is very nice.
Yeah, yeah, interesting.
Rope,
I
rope.
don't know who else.
Yeah.
Have a big container of
The
water.
company that sells
And
the
run
green
that down
bags
to
of mulch,
wrap it
it's
around
green mulch.
plant. I don't think much for the plant. And it'll
Well,
bring the water to the
wood
bucket.
chips.
And the bucket will
Wait,
Yeah.
And-
It's gonna be going to vacation to your house.
Okay, so you're suggesting just, well, if this is the soil and the plant is sticking up like this, I would just wrap it that way or?
I can't go in there. And then, we'll see if I want to the bucket. And if
Now, next year, is the garden out.
Well, it's a wiki.
No.
You keep it, you should.
I mean, they would.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go up.
Or you can take a one, I just, I got some, you know, skinny bottles of plastic bottles.
That's a good question, you know.
Thank God, I'm covered in those, and how much water you would, you know, go that. So I just.
One thing that I've done with some of mine is, you know, you at Home Depot or Lowe's, you can buy those kind of contact mixing pans, are like black plastic, about this big, about this deep. And I cluster a bunch of plants in that, and that way when I water them, it acts like a giant saucer, so that it's able to pull back up the extra and, you know, rehydrate the soil on a slower basis.
So I know about that. Saucer.
I know.
It's kind of the giant saucer, there's a whole bunch of the, besides being clustered together, they can create little microclimates, and then they can more humidity in general. I have a lot of plants at the moment, all in the shade, trying to survive.
So.
And what is the amendment that holds in this moisture?
So the water going to hurt.
The amendment, like there's
Like
like.
common soil.
Is that what it is?
Well, that's one, but four is also supposed to work well.
I'm trying to remember what.
They're polymer shell crystals, they look kind of like rock salt, and they expand and hold water. I believe that
And make sure you wet her
it also holds water. Well,
I'm just trying to give you an idea.
they're making more, like coconut fiber.
Oh, yes, yeah. We have the coconut fiber.
But that's something you mix with it.
Yeah, you mix it with your, yeah, when you're planting in the first place, but that's something I noticed that certain pots at my house, that should like overtake.
They all have mulch on the top. Yes.
Mow your lawn.
South exposure.
You can go in there and.
Water and water and water.
Yep.
There's something about it. One of my grandma, in his driveway, so, yeah, they have a driveway. And the plants are just like, growing like feathers, I mean, he doesn't plant it, like, I don't know, one of the cypress vines are coming up in there, I never water it. Just water sheet. But
I actually have to mulch with like river rock, slopes.
Yeah, maybe, I think she should take it and try to plant it. I don't have space for a
Did
tree.
they dig it up? Did they dig everything up? Was she killed? So does
I've been taking notes. I keeps dropping and putting it into the chat. Thank you. Yeah.
I just moved all everything in out for the summer. And I go,
Yeah. Nobody's really.
I had all the water. The only two big trees I had in my own yard, but at least I took care of it.
Yes.
For the big shaded ones that are going, you know, big trees. Tiny round green, and I'm not very.
Yeah, I mean, they want to share. Usually like whenever the presenter's done, we'll just mingle whatever. So there's no sort of like official. Yeah, no, but if you have any like final slides that you want to share, you can do that too. That's it. I
have a drip irrigation system in the box, and I can't seem to get it to do anything with it by myself. I look at the box and I look at the way that I need to plan it, and my mind goes foggy and my eyes cross, and it's hot. And I could save myself a lot of work to get it set up, but I just can't dance around it. And I've never seemed to be able to get started on trying to use it. Do you know that? So I started trying to draw, and that's when my mind starts skipping off and it doesn't want to go there. Because then I think, because I think I've got to work on it and I just don't want to do it because it's a lot. Which is the first time I really stand with everything, so that's the underlying problem. It's I got it at Natural Garden, and it's about that big. This is one of their sort of irrigations. So it's like it's about a 2-foot square. Also, it's lost in the garage. Number 5. But so that was the first thing that popped up in my mind. Every morning. First I get to go to breakfast, and I have a cup of coffee, and then water, at least half the water. I got 3 rainstorms on Saturday. I went to let the dog in about 15 or 20 minutes to break the building apart. So here we came and they were very small little cells. They were, I know, a few blocks away. I had 2 days without going on. Oh, yeah, so okay. That's the way I provide fertilizer for us.
Yeah.
It should, but it's just anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
Primary source.
In the winter, change. Really, our garden is kind of It's 16 foot. Each are planted members. On the long side, we took 2 of those, so 8 foot each, that's 16 foot, and then we took just 8 on the side. And we built it up like 4 levels high. It's all kind of disintegrated the outside, because we kind of gave up on the garden because our neighbor had a tree that was blocking the sun. Well, that's a tree that, so we could actually start to build it. And I'm sure the soil, has something in it, it's still got something.
Cool.
So we would have to rebuild it. So we would probably drag all the old timbers out.
Anyway, I was the only person.
And we could use the same thing, or we could use.
So the box, I brought in the
word for word.
That's probably the
Yeah, this was
Everybody got a chance to talk and I'm not interrupting, I mean, I don't want to interrupt.
about 30-some years ago.
We already had a conversation, I'm probably going to slip out because I'm just a picture of someone's idea.
Google this.
No,
that's great.
What is
That is my number at where I better line to catch me on because I'm doing it right now. Yeah. And I think on the website right now, so it's you on that. Oh, yes. Okay.
I just felt that we just typing in everything.
You're not gonna interrupt, but I
And there were people in the hallway that I'm trying
Somebody.